Hi everyone, I hope this video finds you happy, healthy, and safe. If you're new here, my name is Rhonda with Rhonda's Craft Frenzy. I thank you all for stopping by. If you're not new, thanks for coming back. If you are new, please consider subscribing to my channel. It means everything to me. I'm not going to chatter. Let's get right into it. I have 3 super cute Valentine crafts for you today. So I'll beat you to the craft table.
For DIY number 1, I start out with this wooden truck and 3 wooden hearts. I think that truck came from Dollar General, but I can't be certain, it was such a long time ago. I painted that truck with crimson colored Waverly's chalk paint. I used truffle colored chalk paint for the bed of the truck. Feel free to color this in whatever colors you want. I honestly was thinking of doing it in blue for the Easter season, but I really need Valentine's Day decor in my home, so I went with the red. For the tires, I used ink colored chalk paint, also by Waverly. I also added little hearts that I had cut out of cardstock to put in the center of each one of those tires, but you won't notice that until the end. So I needed to fill the back of my truck, of course. So I used smaller sized hearts. I had this package of napkins that I'm pretty sure I picked up at the Dollar Tree. So I pulled them apart and then I laid a coat of Mod Podge. I put the hearts over the top of that and I set them aside to dry. Once they were dry, I sanded the edges so I could get that clean looking edge. There's so many ways to do this, but this way always works best for me. I wanted my truck to have a sign on the door, so I cut out a couple of hearts of cardstock. I painted them with plaster colored chalk paint and set them aside to dry. Once they were dry, I placed this love sign that I had cut out from the farmhouse calendar. I glued those two pieces together because I wanted it to be a little bit thicker, and then I used hot glue to put jute string around the edges of it, and I glued it to my truck. I glued small pieces of floral foam to the bottom in the back of the truck. Then I needed a way to keep those hearts in place, and for that I glued toothpicks to the bottom of them with hot glue. The last thing to do was to decorate it, so I pushed those toothpicks into the foam and added some pretty pink flowers. Just kept messing with it until I was happy with it. And I love it. I hope you guys do too. DIY number 2 is super simple. I started with a wooden sign and I painted it with ink-colored Waverly's chalk paint and set it aside to dry. While it was drying, I picked out this really pretty image that I liked from the farmhouse calendar that comes from Dollar Tree, and I tore off all the edges of it. By the time that was all torn up, the paint was dry. I put a good coat of Mod Podge over that black paint, and then I put the page over it. I worked out all the crinkles as best I could. I'm really not that great at using Mod Podge, but I did the best I could. Then I added another layer over the top of that and let it dry. Once it was dry, I added a pink bow and it was done. Super simple. You can do this with whatever image you want, anything that would match your home decor. I hope you liked it. For my last one, I used a palette wooden heart. I stained it with antique wax and set it aside to dry. Once dry, I used some letters from Dollar Tree to spell out "Kiss Me." Then I put a layer of Mod Podge over the top of that. Please feel free to use your cutting machines or freehand writing here. I will try always to give people options, but I will be using my machines a little bit more in the future because it cuts my time down. Once that Mod Podge was dry, I grabbed this black and white buffalo checked ribbon and I glue it on the back side, leaving a little slack for the front. I used some of this pretty red lace ribbon and I put that on both sides of that black and white ribbon, gluing it here and there to keep it in place. I added a simple bow to the center of that buffalo check, and this was complete. I want to thank you for watching my video to the end. I appreciate all of you as always.